Hi, everyone. Hello. Let me make sure my microphone's close. I wanted you to see my Christmas sweater. Check it out. It's a snowman with two cameras. That's right. That's how I roll. Hi, welcome to the last live stream of the year. Monique Renee here. Where's that? Monique Renee here, photographer here at Silver Paw Studio. Welcome to the Green Room, which is where we've been going live every Monday for the last 2 months. So, welcome. If you're watching this replay, hi, paw to you. Thank you very much. Hey, William. Hey, Frank. Hello. Good afternoon, William. How's it going there? And Frank. Frank, how's your puppy? I had someone at the shelter ask today. Awesome. So good to see you. I thought, what the heck? Let's go out with a bang and do the last live stream epic. Because that's what we do. We're epic. And so let's just keep this live stream going for a while. This is a chance to get to know each other, ask your questions, kind of AMA, Q&A. I've got a couple of things to go over with you too. And, we'll even pop over to Lightroom and edit the pictures I took at the dog shelter today. Whoop, whoop. So welcome, everyone. I hope the end of the year is going well for you. The end of 2020, we can see it. It's in sight, right? I mean, usually by the end of the year, we're kind of tired anyway and can't believe how fast the year went yet. There's all the things that we say at the end of the year, but this year especially, yeah. Still waiting. Okay. All right. Yeah. Keep me posted, Frank. So what do we got? Like 10 days. Christmas is on Friday. New Year's is next week. And then we're jumping over into a whole new year. It feels good just partly because there's so much that happens at the end of the year anyway. And then just let's put 2020 behind us in a lot of senses. But in some senses, what do we want to keep? Oh, I'm out of focus. There's some things that have gone and done. There's some cool things that have happened this year. Today I saw John Krasinski. He posted Some Good Things. Is that what it's called? Remember he did that back in the spring and he did one more episode today. I didn't watch the whole thing because I didn't feel like crying. SGN, how they do. Hello, Patty. So let's talk about the end of the year for us. What things did we learn? What things did we get rid of? What lessons did we learn? What do we want to take into 2021? I did a couple of weeks ago a newsletter for my pack bulletin, and it had this little, I don't know if you can see it, like a little meme I'd made. I promised to bring all the good bits, and I put it on the back of my phone. Yeah, you probably can't read that. Anyway, it says, I promise to bring all of the good bits. Only the things I want to bring forward into the new year. William, sister-in-law just got a Frenchie. Oh, so lucky. Oh. William, if you're part of the Facebook group, please share. We want to see Frenchie puppies. I think I speak for everyone here. We would all love to see a lot of Frenchie puppies. Okay. And for anyone, I think y'all are in the group, but I just want to make sure for anyone watching this at any point that you are invited to Pro Pet Photog Facebook group. We are small, we are mighty. And we do post in there pretty often. I really appreciate everyone just popping in there and posting a question or a comment. I really love that. The community is not just about me, it's about everybody. So I really, really love that. And I appreciate everyone participating in that community. Yeah. So Frenchie pictures for sure, William. Thank you. And did y'all see Frank's a picture of his Borzoi, the dog we're talking about? I think we talked about that last week, but he put a really nice portrait, close-up portrait, just straight on. It really gives you a feel of how long a Borzoi's face is. Yeah. And he's a very unique looking dog. So I appreciate that. And Patty's posted in there. It's awesome. I think you're in there, William, in the Facebook group. Appreciate that. Let me get some water. It is really, really gorgeous here in Colorado right now. And it will be today and tomorrow. Wednesday, it's going to drop 20 degrees and be super windy. So I have a photo session Wednesday that I'm going to have to move to another day. So I'm kind of bummed that was going to be the last one for the year. We're going to just have to shift it a little bit because it's outside. Oh, Patty saw your image. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. William did too. Okay. Yay. Oh, very good. I love that. We all have a different style to our photography. And I just love seeing everybody's art, just how we see the world. I don't know. I don't think I would have ever taken that picture like that Frank took. And so it's kind of cool to know that every single picture we take is absolutely unique for that moment. Even if you took a picture the next millisecond, one hair would be off. It would be a little different. That's why I love pet and people photography. It's all just a little different. So anyway, weather's really nice here because I'm doing mostly outdoor sessions still. And I had one of a gal and her dog set for Wednesday, but I think the weather's just gonna, if it was just cold, that'd be one thing, but the wind comes and it makes it that much more cold. And then people's hair flies around and the dog's hair flies around. I can't always make that work. So we're trying to find another day off that she has that we can do that. So I do have a session tomorrow that came up last minute, also outside at their property. And I like challenges. So let me know if you think I'm crazy for this challenge. I hate it when my microphone shows in the shot. Sorry, everybody. Let me know if you think I'm crazy to take on this photo session. Okay. It's the couple. And they have basset hounds. Five basset hounds. And they have a golden retriever, one golden retriever. And they have one kitty. And the two of them. And so 6 dogs, 1 cat, and 2 people. Am I crazy? It's going to be tomorrow morning. I'm going to bring a tripod just in case I need to blend a couple of different pictures together. Their dogs are all very friendly and get along with each other, but some of the dogs don't get along with the cat. And so we'll see how it goes. I have high confidence. It's going to be in the morning, but it's pretty nice for Colorado, 50 degrees because there's hardly any humidity here. It feels nice and warm. Like I could just wear a hoodie. So yeah, tell me if you think I'm crazy. Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes in that Facebook group, how I did. And, I usually I'm done at a session in about an hour. I don't like to overtax everybody, but with this many animals, we're going to give them a little bit of time to adjust to me being there because they're going to come right over, she said, and just like, yay, I love you. And you're a new person. So we'll give them some time for that. But I think it'll be okay. She'll have lots of treats, she says. I know. Yeah, I did a photo shoot last fall and it was it 5 dogs and 5 people? Something like that. 5 dogs and 6 people. I'm not sure, but I ended up having to have my trainers come out, Beth and Wayne, that I've showed on this channel. I hired them to come out and help, partly because one dog had to be on a leash with its owner the whole time because it did not like strangers. So we had to be very careful around that dog. And then there was all the other dogs and kind of chaotic. So we're all like, wah, behind the camera, but it worked. It worked. Yeah. That I know it's a lot. And if it was non-COVID times, I would ask my trainers to come out. It is going to be outside, so that makes me feel better. And the main thing they want to accomplish is one whole family photo with all the animals and the people. So that's going to be what I concentrate on the most. And then, of course, I'll take just the animals and then each dog individually. A couple of them are older. I'll do all the breakdowns, but I really want to try super hard to get that one image. And we're going to use their backyard. They have acreage beyond that, but I think that the dogs would just kind of run off and do their thing if we went out there. So I actually haven't been out there in non-COVID times. I would have gone out there and done my consult there, but we just did over the phone. So We shall see. Patty, group shots might be difficult with all the animals, especially the cats. Yeah. Luckily, she has just the one cat, and the cat's used to the dogs, loves the dogs, and goes outside. So what I'm hoping is there's like a fence. So even if the cat isn't there when all the dogs are there, at some point maybe I can get the cat along the fence and I can edit him into the pictures with the dogs. You know what I mean? So I'm going to work on something like that. I'll assess it when I get there. So when it's a large group like that, I assess right away, and I try to be very careful about this dog doesn't really like being next to this dog. So we'll work on that. But other than that, like they have treats, and I think it should. I don't know. I think it's going to be good because they're all such a friendly bunch. It sounds like. So I'll assess everyone. I'll take a look at the property. It's going to be in the morning, so we'll look at where the sun is coming from. I generally like open shade, but I don't know. I actually don't know what her property looks like. So it might be in the morning sun. It'll be about 9:30, which is okay light here. We'll have to see what happens. So a lot of this I'm going in blind, which I don't recommend. Like I could have had her text me some snapshots, I suppose, with her phone, but I didn't. So yeah, chairs, benches. I usually pull them from all over their property. If I see one out front, I'll have them help me bring it to the back. Anything they might have in their house that's okay to bring outside, I'll do that. I usually rearrange indoor furniture as it is. Yeah, so great idea. I had one client and they had a really nicely landscaped backyard. And so they had some different levels. So they had like rocks over here that we could sit on, and a bench here and a bench there, and some trees and things. So I'm hoping they'll have some of that. And also, we're really hoping that the herd of elk isn't on their property tomorrow, because that wouldn't be great. So, because that's where the herd of elk down here are hanging out, is kind of where she's at. So we're hoping they're not on the property tomorrow morning. Yeah. So I'll let you know how that goes. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'll look for benches and chairs. Sometimes I bring my own. I think bassets are pretty low riders, and I don't even know if they could get up on my bench. You know, that long posing bench that I have? I could probably fit a couple of bassets, but they're so long, they'd fall off one side or the other, and I don't know if that would work. So we'll see what we can do. Definitely bring a tripod, though. So when I do a composite type thing, which I don't do very often, I don't feel like I'm super great at that, then I make sure I get an empty shot. So a photo of nothing, just that's the area in the same settings, like camera settings. And so let's say it's just a backyard with a fence, get a picture of that with nobody in it, and then don't move the camera, and then put everybody in there and take a lot of photos with the tripod. And then if it looks like, okay, we have to do a few at a time, just keep track of, okay, these dogs were here, and then they go play. And then these dogs were here, and then they go play. And then these dogs are here, and they go play. And so then it's pretty easy to put them together. And especially having that empty shot. So we'll see. I think it'll be okay. Yeah, we'll do something. We'll make it work. And she said part of her husband will be there too, and her husband will be in it, but he might be a little more impatient. I said, I'm used to that too. My highest compliment from a man after a photo session is, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah, that's like my highest compliment. That didn't suck. Thanks. I always thank them profusely. I'm so glad it wasn't horrible. I told my daughter Amber that. She goes, yeah, that's pretty much my husband. Yeah. Zane, what's up? I would like to have a portable catio big enough for me and the cat, so the cats can be outside in the sunlight. Oh, what a goal. I love it. Oh my gosh. Could you video the event? Oh, I don't think so. I didn't get permission ahead of time. I need to find a client with like a lot of animals that I kind of know already, and then do a behind the scenes. What I've been doing lately is just talk about it after the fact. Say, hey, can I talk about your animals and show some of the final photos? Because it's so chaotic at the time. Really, what would be awesome someday is to have a camera person come with me. So get permission from somebody and just have somebody handling a camera, which I've done a little bit with Lizzie, with Steve's daughter, Lizzie. So Yeah. We'll get to that point again, right? What else do I want to make sure that I tell you? Okay. Here is my email. I am doing on New Year's, the video that I release on New Year's will be all of my photographer reacts to your silly pet photos. And some of you have already sent these. I appreciate that. If you have photos that you want me to react and talk about here on YouTube on my main video on Fridays, please email that to me. 3 to 5 kind of medium res images, or, 1 up to 5. It could be 1 if you want. And if you want to do a little, like description of it, that'd be great. And give me a release. Just basically say you have permission to post this on YouTube. And then the handle that you like, so Frank, I could say, to find out more about Frank's work, go to compellingimages.com, that kind of thing. So let me know where you want people to be pointed to, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, website, wherever. So I'm excited to do that. In the newsletter this week, in this newsletter, I did say I'd like them by this Wednesday, because what I'd like to do is have that video done on Monday to post that next Friday, because I have some other personal things happening next week, pretty big stuff. So if you would like, I would love to feature your photos. Yes. But they do need to be like email and have the release and all that. So yay, send that over. I did show this briefly, but please do join the ProPet Photog email group every Friday morning. Right as my Friday video goes live, you'll get an email reminding you of the video, doing a little bit more information about it, and anything else that happens to be happening in the studio. And I have some big things coming up in 2021 that people on this email list will know about first. Okay, so you'll want to make sure that you are in the know. Yes. What do we got over here? Patty. All pics I sent were of my dog Lucas, except for Steven, who has Yoda ears. Yay. Thank you. Yay. What I'm trying to do is like, okay, I see it come in. I don't want to look at him too close until I do the actual react video. I'm so excited. I love animal pictures. I love funny things, and I love supporting all of you. So this is going to be so fun. It'll be a great first video of the year, I think. I'm also here. Let me get rid of this banner. I'm also super excited about this Friday's video. It's actually almost done in the edit. It's really cool. Okay. It's really cold. I did a photo shoot outside, and then I used this blending program, and it's like this icy picture with my dog in it. And I'm going to show you how to do that. It's going to be really cool. I don't know how much else I want to say. So y'all have your notifications on. You'll know. So what questions do you have for me? This is kind of a Q&A AMA. So the difference in that is like question. Do you have a question for me about the craft or the business of pet photography? It could be about YouTube, podcasting, whatever you want to ask about. An AMA is kind of get to know me. If you've been watching my story times the last couple of months, I've put a lot of that kind of content out there, more about me, but I'm happy to answer most questions. So feel free. Let's see. Did you get the pic of your Borzoi Laska? Did you email it, Frank? I might have. I'll have to double check. I turned off my email while I'm live streaming because it has a loud ding to it. Yeah. The blending, actually I think it's just called Blend It. Yeah, so it's just a composite of 2 images that I'll show you. But let me see on my phone here. I've got my phone. Where did I put it? I was one of those silly people and downloaded the Mr. Beast Burger app. Oh, let's see. I might have actually put it in the right. Yeah. Blend Me photo editor. You did a while ago. Okay, I'll double check, Frank. Yeah, Patty. For in-person sales, what kind of a separate monitor would be good for the client to look at? You're on a budget. Yeah. So I've got that little USB one because you don't have to plug it in, which is nice. And how much was that? The first one I had, I swear it was only like $100, but this most recent one I think was more like 150, 170. I may have put an affiliate link to it in that one quick video I did. There was a quick tips video about kind of my setup, but I like my little USB monitor because I do a lot on location. So it just folds up super small. It's actually smaller than my laptop, and both things can fit with all of my samples in my to-go bag when I go do sales meetings. But right, I mean, recently it seems like I've been using it at my studio more because people want to meet there. There's no coffee shops open, you know? And so, I like that. It's like a 15-inch maybe. So it's okay. It's funny because people think it's touch screen and they try to, to make the pictures bigger or do stuff on the screen. It doesn't work that way. I'm trying to think of what else you could do. I don't think you have a studio space, but if you had a space, some people use a TV and they somehow cast it just to a TV, and you can get pretty inexpensive, smaller TVs. So there's that too. But I really love having that second monitor if you're using something like ProSelect, because they can see just that nice clean screen. They're just looking at the photos that you're showing them. They're not seeing like all the other pictures. They're not seeing what you're doing behind the scenes, and they don't see the toolbars. I really love that. Some people use like iPads too. Those are a little bit smaller in a lot of cases, but they have really nice photo quality. Yeah. Zane says, use Affinity Photo on your iPad Pro and your big Windows computer for blending. Oh, yeah. Well, that's big time. Oh my gosh. I wanted to see if I could blend something with just my phone. And so that's why I have it. I've done a little bit of blending, just with Photoshop. And, when I'm talking about that 6 dog cat people session, I'll use Photoshop for that. I'm going to write down Affinity because I've heard a lot of people talk about it. Affinity Photo, and that might be something worth looking into. Oh, is it just on iPad or on Apple though? Oh no, you said big Windows. Okay, yeah, I'll check that out. Patty, where'd you go? Oh, that was Zane's. Okay. Frank says, check out Newegg. They have good prices on various electronics. Okay. Yay. Okay. I didn't even know Newegg was still around. They've been around for a super long time, haven't they, Frank? That's crazy. I had no idea. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. And Zane, that Blend Me, I've barely used it. I just used it for this one project, but I couldn't believe how easy it was. I started off doing it the hard way, like cutting out the picture and all this, but I didn't need to do that for the project I was working on. So, yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, you keep getting ads for Newegg. They were like the place for a long time, I think, right? Maybe that was before Amazon was huge, but Newegg was the place to get computer stuff back in the day. I remember that. Let's see. Let me know if you all have started thinking about 2021 at all. I had this conversation with Steve last night, and he's like, honestly, I haven't even thought that far. I said, oh my gosh, yeah, we're just trying to kind of get through this year a little bit still. But if you've started thinking about next year, I'd love to find out what your plans are. Zane, you do? Okay. Wow, that's interesting. What are your plans? Do you plan on like getting new equipment or changing up what you offer? Do you plan on just kind of a wait and see, kind of keep building, and then maybe in 6 months you'll do something, or like your word of the year? I've picked my word that I want to work towards, or with, for the year. A lot of people have their words. Some people have, not really goals, but like say you want to read more. I did that last year before. I said, there's all these amazing books and I'm a really big reader. I love reading, but I'm not taking as much time to do it as I want to. So then I bought the Audible monthly plan, and I was like, okay, if I'm paying $15 a month, I'm going to read or listen, to at least one book a month. And that's been really good. I just finished up Pat Flynn's Superfans, and he's got such a great writing style, and he narrates himself. So that was a quick read, actually. Frank, working on a marketing idea for equestrian class video. I would like to run it by you. Oh, yeah, for sure. Ooh, that sounds awesome. I love how much you're getting into video too. Have you been able to use your Rode Wireless Go's yet? Ah. We have a new camera on the way. Yep. My mid-range lens is finally on the way, and then another one. I can't remember what. So when I do my updated gear video in January, you'll see what I got. So in January, I plan on filming. It seems like every January I do a what camera gear do I use and what lighting gear do I use for photography. So I'll be updating that again. I like to just refresh that every year because it does change. So the bag I had 2 years ago is completely different from what I use now. So I'll be updating that. I'm also going to be posting a vlog style step-by-step of what I do at the cat rescue and the dog rescue. It's the same rescue, but they have different campuses. And Frank and I actually, I recorded that probably a month ago at the cat side, but I knew it wouldn't be released until next year. So those two are going to come out, and it's not just going to be like, here I am at the shelters. I'm going to take you through each thing that I do. Like, first I do this and then I set up that, and this is how I decide on where to put the light, or, how I organize the names, or how I get the images to them. And honestly, when I did that video recording, Frank, I didn't finish it. So I might have to re-record that, unfortunately, because I thought I just had the closing bit to film, but I realize now I don't know if I ever did film like the editing piece. So when I'm back at the cat side with you, Frank, I might have to re-record that. But those are going to be two separate videos because my workflow is completely different on the dog side versus the cat side. So that's one of those things I wish I had found on YouTube over the years is, okay, I'm a new photographer or new to volunteering at the shelters. I would love to have like a little script or, like a step-by-step workflow on what to do, all the way from contacting the people there and keeping that dialogue going so everybody knows what's going on, to the actual photos, to the editing, to delivering the images. So I'll be covering that, hopefully in January. Yeah, let's see. You did a video of your friend Cindy taking class with her horse, Oscar. Okay, so you did use that one on that. Okay, good. Maybe add how we select the cats to photograph. Yeah. So I think I did. Did we film that, Frank? I don't feel like I was as prepared and organized to shoot that. I think it was like the day before I thought, oh, this would be a great day to film that video. Frank, are you up for that? And so we did some, but I think that I'm going to go ahead and write like a little outline. And so I know that I'm going to cover all of these and get footage for each piece. I think that would be good. Yeah. Yeah. Cause I know we've talked about that a little bit, but yeah, I want it all in one for sure. So Zane, Patty, Bill, what do you got going on? Are you pretty much wrapped up and on holiday right now, or are you thinking forward to 2021? What's on your agenda? Is there something in Photoshop that you're going to really hone in on and learn how to do, or a certain style you're going to work on? Yeah. So let me know. I'd love for all of us to talk about that. That'd be awesome. Or any other questions you have for me. This is typically a slower time of the year for the studio, and so I have more time to put towards you and any other kind of learning things for you. I know. I have a big, long Google Doc. Actually, no, it's a Google Sheet because there's several pages to it of all the things. Oh, I wanted to tell you where we're at. So, I've got this goal for the end of the year to reach 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Lofty goal, I know. And I'm at 819 now. Yay. So thanks everyone. I appreciate that. Let's see. The Rode Wireless Go just worked. I like that about, yeah. I follow a couple landscape photographers and they say the biggest downfall is just remembering to turn on the microphone when they do their vlogs. Yeah, when you're working with a client, I mean, you kind of have a checklist, but yeah. Yeah, I love that. Just click go. I know, it's so great. Patty, not much. Currently learning ON1 Photo Raw as I'm done with Lightroom, especially since, had to resync everything. That's crazy. That's how aggravating that must have been. Yeah. So are you liking ON1? Does it kind of do everything that Lightroom does? I think it does, right? Yeah. Zane, want to learn how to build templates in Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer. Oh, templates for what? Like cards and albums? That kind of template? I'd love to know. Yeah. Oh, I wish there was somebody that's been, who is that? Someone that's been in the chat was going to do Santa photos. I hope they show up today because I really want to know how that went. What else do I have on my list? I want to make sure. Okay, so I made sure to let you know to email here your silly pictures to be featured next Friday. Oh my, next Friday? Oh my gosh, that's next Friday. Okay. So email your pictures for Photographer Reacts. And about the Facebook group, the newsletter, we're doing the Q&A, and I've got Lightroom pulled up over here and we can go through those. I photographed 3 dogs at the shelter today. It was gorgeous out. We didn't have to go inside. Let's see. My nose is G. Templates, all of that, and photo designs. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious, Zane, what kind of designs you're putting together. Let me make this banner go away. Doo-per-doo. Let's go back over here. All right, y'all think about your questions for me. And let me know maybe what you've learned this year too. Is there anything that kind of surprised you? Like for me, it was formulating all the ProPat Photog everything. That kind of surprised me out of this year. I didn't really expect that, but I'm really happy with it. I didn't expect to resign from the radio show and change up my whole podcast, but I like it. I think it worked out good. So there's some surprises this year for sure. So I'd love to chit chat about that. Let's go over to Lightroom too. Oh, you photographed 3 cats and 1 kitten. Most were black. Oh, wow. Were they all like the same litter maybe? I can't believe they're still kittens. I think it's just kitten all the time here. I don't know. Well, we get them in from other states too. Yeah. Oh, Patty, you are liking ON1. It does the same as Lightroom. Plus you can work in layers. Oh, ooh. So it's kind of a blend of Lightroom and Photoshop. That's awesome. Yeah, I like that. I kind of wish Lightroom had layers, but I guess it would probably slow it down a lot. Yeah. I have new RAM on the way because my video editing has eaten all of my RAM in my new computer. They're all different litters. Huh. Wow. Okay. I can't wait to see those go up. We had some dogs that probably, they're just going to be adopted so fast. Like sometimes you just know when you're photographing some of these animals, like they're not going to last long. Okay. Let me move my microphone over a little bit and we're just going to hop over to Lightroom over here. And I'll show you in camera. I have one of my buttons on my Sony a7R III set to star, and you can see let me make these bigger. You can see that some of them already have a star because between dogs, when my helper goes to get another dog, I look through the LCD, You know how you can look through the eyepiece and see, or just whatever, and I can review all the photos and give them a star. So when I import them into Lightroom, Lightroom sees them as a star, and bam, there we go. So I don't have to cull these again when I get back here if I'm able to get through every single one. Sometimes I forget the very last one because I'm just packing up at that point. But yeah. Frank says there was an orange tabby kitten that is so cute and friendly. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. Frank and I were always talking about, like, well, this kitten's not going to last long. I'll take the picture and edit it and everything, but it'll be gone before we send it off to them, right? So here's the 3 pepperonis. And I already labeled these. This is Pluto. So I always put that in the title over here. You could probably do this in the other programs as well. Just pick one of the fields to put their name in. So when you export it, it could just be part of the little, the export dialog box, just that'll add the title for you. And you don't have to type it in every single time. So here's little Pluto. And I keep forgetting they now have square format for their adoption site. So what was happening is I would send over the 8:10 aspect ratio, and then they would be cutting it or cropping it and stuff like that. And I was like, oh no, that's not working. Can I just send these as square? And they said, oh yeah, please do. So I always I crop it, and then I go down to lens correction and I remove chromatic aberration if there's any. It'll just take it out, enable profile correction. So it'll say, oh, that's the lens you're using. Here, well, let's just fix it. So that's pretty cool. And then since I know I'm going to crop this 1:1 on all of these and do the lens correction, that's when I select all of them and I sync as long as you're in develop mode. Let me put this over here. And then I make sure I don't want this stuff clicked right now, but I have lens correction and aspect ratio. And so I can synchronize all of that. And if your programs have that, I highly suggest it. It makes the process so much faster. And then because you can see the varying light down here, let me see, let me go back to grid. The light's all over the place. So I may not synchronize this actual develop settings over here. And you can see I need to get rid of her knee. I don't like this in Lightroom, but let's try the spot healing, spot removal. We'll see if it works. I'm just going to scroll up and down with my mouse. It should blend in with the fence. Let's see what it does. I want to go over it a couple times here. Let's see. Nope, it picked something from the dog sweater. Of course it did. Okay, so it's being kind of slow. It doesn't like it when I live stream and do this. And we're going to say clone instead of heal. There we go. That is pretty good. That'll work. That'll work. And then I usually start over here on just auto and see what the world it does. Woof. Does that seem extra bright to you? I think this monitor is a little brighter, but it usually wackadoos all of these way more than it needs to. I don't know why it overcompensates. And then I can't get it to stop doing vibrance. I don't like them to mess with the vibrance and saturation. So that looks pretty good. Yeah. All right. So let's see if we can copy that over here. So we've already got this and this. We just want to do basic tone. Well, let's do all of them. How about that? Synchronize. So this little one seems bright again to me. Huh. Here, let's bring that down. And then I'm just going to press R. I actually had my camera on the ground with the flippy screen out. So you could see, like, there's the ground, which is a little bright. So I may not use that here. Oh, it's still a little crooked, isn't it? So I'm going to just, I'm going to do, is it this one? I'm going to pull up from the bottom and just make that a little darker. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. What a cutie patootie. This dog was so nice. Little bitty thing, so nice. Wanted to climb in our laps, wanted to climb on my camera. It was adorable. I know, spot healing in Lightroom, Patty, you're right. I don't usually, I have a monitor calibrator, but I don't think it did a very good job, or I didn't use it right. But I need to. And the problem too is that this computer screen that you're looking at right now is a higher resolution than the one that I'm live streaming from. And so that's why, like, everything over here looks really, really tiny, because it's a higher resolution monitor. And I didn't think about that when I bought it. So I have to kind of contend with that. Yeah, I know I need to do something about it though. Here, shadows could be better. This wasn't the greatest light, but look at his little ears are up. I don't know. He's cute, whatever. And then this one, he kept running towards me. Look at that itsy bitsy face. I can't even. Look at Pluto. I just want to like squeeze your little nose, and you're so cute. And he just loved to be held and picked up, and he was so adorable. Pluto, such a sweetie. And then we go from Pluto over here to, is it Stallone? Yeah, Stallone. This was the bounciest dog. I think he could probably bounce right out of that area. Let's see. I want to try to get his full body-ish in here if I can. Let's see if I can cut out my assistant. She's a new assistant. She's awesome too. But you can kind of see how it goes from this mess, and I got her in there and everything, and I'm trying to stay back so I'm not distracting, down to that. And you know, I use my A7R3, and it's got the 42 pickles, that kind of thing, but it could have 24 and be fine for this kind of stuff. Yeah, I cut half the picture down, but it's still okay. You know, what bothers me a lot right now is somehow this place, all of their landscape cloth is coming up. And so look at that. Everywhere is this landscape cloth, and it just drives me nuts in these pictures. But I try not to go too crazy on the edit because I know like this dog's going to be gone. He'll be adopted so quickly. But like, look at that hot spot there. That bothers me so much. Oh, see, that's way too big. Whoops. Okay, that'll be fine. So it's a hot spot, and all this stuff is happening in this hot spot right here. I don't know if you can see that. Ugh, that really bothers me. Anywho, you could really see it in this one. You can see the difference in angles. So I like to do what I call over the shoulder. It's over the shoulder of my assistant. So I can get just the light in their eyes right there, which is really nice, right? You could see us. That's cute. But you could see also, how distracting all of this is back here. And then look at like kind of the same, but so much warmer in the background. The lighting's a little nicer, and you don't get all of that garbage on the ground over there. So this could use some cleanup, but just a completely different look. We'll do side by side. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Different angle and different background. Yeah, crazy. But cute dog. And you can see like the colors look so different. Lot cooler. So if we go over to develop, let's warm it up a little bit. You don't want to warm it up too much. Remember, this is gray gravel back there and a gray and white dog, but that looks a little bit better. Yeah. How's it going over here? Y'all still with me? Everybody with me? You liking the puppies? Oh, see, look, that's blown out because she kept going in and out of the light, and look at, I think it is clipped here. Let's see if we take the highlights down and the whites down. Yeah, it's probably okay, but I have a few I can choose from here. Look at, she's got derpy lip too. How's everyone doing? Are you doing okay with the live stream today? Feel free to pop in. I am watching that monitor for your questions and comments and everything. I thought it would be fun to just get together, and any last minute questions you have, maybe you're all just exhausted. This year has just been exhausting. I don't know. Does your live stream look kind of like extra dark? This picture looks pretty good on this monitor, but I just want to be sure. I'll look at the histogram up here too. Yeah, it's pretty dark maybe. Let's see. What else do we have? Yes. Oh, she's not in focus. I'm going to press 0 so it's not in the stars anymore. Her ears are down here. So I'm not as excited about this one because of her ear position. And even if we zoomed in a little bit, I like on these dogs with unique coloring, I like to show the full dog. So you could really see that and then get some close-ups of as well. So like right here, even though it has like all this landscape cloth and stuff and derpy lip, I think just her coloring is so unique that it would be worth keeping this anyway, just so people get that instant, like, oh, an overview of her. Let's see. This one's silly. She was pretty active. Oh yeah, that one's blurry. I'm gonna press 0. And this one I thought really showed off like her little ears. She's pretty sweet. She was just extremely active. There we go. I don't mind the look of that one. Pretty shallow depth of field. What was my settings? 3.5. Yeah. So like her eyes in focus, but her mouth and her nose aren't as much. Yeah, it's okay. You hope next year will be perfect or almost perfect. That's right, Zane. That's right. All right, everyone's still here. You liking this? Okay. I know, like, we're not asking for much. We just want it to be perfect. Okay. Yeah, what Zane said. See, this one is fun, but it looks like a completely different dog. So I think that's interesting. Their ear position really means a lot. If y'all listen to podcasts, there is a podcast. What is her name? I'm going to look up this podcast because she had Margaret Bryant on the podcast the other day. And Margaret had a lot of good tips. The Profitable Photographer, Lucy Dumas. So Lucy Dumas, she was on, here, I'm going to segue. We'll come back to these. So Lucy Dumas, Dumas, I think, she was at Imaging. Actually, Margaret was at Imaging last year too, which was the PPA event, and it was in Nashville, I believe. And I went around and I convinced all these people to talk to my GoPro for a moment, and I put together this. There was a bunch of us pet photographers that got together for dinner one night, and it's like, here's my GoPro. Will you give us your best piece of advice for other pet photographers? And that's one of the videos I posted in January or February this year. And so Lucy Dumas was there, and she has the Profitable Photographer podcast, and she had Margaret Bryant on there. And Margaret's a really well-known pet photographer, really nice, really generous, and she has a high-key look. She does a studio, that kind of thing. So she has a kind of people know her from her style. She's been doing this a couple decades. But she had a lot of good points. And one of them was talking about ear position. So for some dogs, like this, maybe if you have a client, they'd be like, oh yeah, I love that. My dog always does that. But for some people, they say, no, my dog's ears are always back. I prefer that. So knowing ear positions, all of that, especially like horses, cats can really show off their feelings with their ears. So she had some nuggets in that podcast episode. And I don't know how many podcasts Margaret Bryant does, but I thought that was really cool. To hear what she had to say on there too. Here you go. Here's everyone. Yeah, that looks kind of dark on your screen. I don't know. I'll look at it on both these screens before I submit them. I'm still not quite sure about this one here with her stuck out tongue, but I always try to send over 3. What do you think? Yeah. Yeah. What was kind of interesting too about Margaret's interview was, oh gosh, I think I just lost that thought. Well, she was talking about, people know what their dog looks like and what they like and don't like. So like Bailey, my little dog Bailey, if her mouth is open and she's got that smile, for her, that means she's really hot or she's stressed out. It rarely means she's happy, fun, smiling. So if I see a picture of Bailey smiling with an open mouth, it's not really her. She has that kind of serious playground monitor look. So for me, I know that, and I would tell that to my pet photographer. And that happens like with ears too. And Frank says, boys' ears are all over the place. Oh my, yeah, I bet they would be, right? But I've had some people that their dog has the kind of ears that kind of lay down most of the time. And if they're perked up, That's not their dog. They don't like that. That means their dog was stressed out, or it's not the look they normally have. Because sometimes at a session, I spend so much time trying to get the perky ears and the smile and all that. And at some point, I just say, so how important is it to you that like the ears are up? And some people, they're like, no, that's not my dog at all. So I don't care. And other people like, oh, I never see that. And it's so cute when they do it. So let's keep trying. So having those conversations with your clients, these obviously are shelter dogs, here. So I don't really know what their regular ear position could be, especially the Tilly, the little black and white one at the end. I think there's some breed ones like the Chihuahua. Her ears actually went up and down and up and down. But I think we're used to seeing them with their ears up, Yeah. Oh my gosh, she was so sweet. It was so great. So Zane wants next year's to be perfect. Frank's going to work on some marketing for video. Patty's going to work on one photo. Zane's going to work on affinity. William, what do you got going on? What do you plan on? Is there one thing you'd like to go concentrate on next year or put some effort towards or learn? Love to know. Patty says your shelter likes to have at least one pick with the ears up. Interesting. Okay. I've never had a shelter request an ear position from me. What they have done is say, could you edit the guppies out of the corner of a cat eye? So yes, I've done a lot of that. Ear position though, they haven't. Are you talking about for cats too, Patty? Yeah, when I do kitties, and I think Frank's the same too, I just try so hard to get their ears forward. Like here's this little kitten back there, right? So he looks like he's about to take off, but his ears are forward. And same like with horses. Does this picture have a horse in it? No. I have another picture of the two of them with their horse. So that picture, I have another one where a horse is standing right here too. And horse people know right away if their horse is happy or not. And a lot of it is the ear position. Yeah. Interesting. Wow. I think I try to be so quick at the shelters. I know some people, they really put aside like half a day at the shelters, and that's commendable. I think I would be exhausted, number one. I can't get a staff person to help me or, a volunteer that could help me for that long. And also I need to get back here to work, but I applaud the people who do spend the extra time, and especially for like the animals that have been there a while, give them that extra love. And I'll do that too. They've been just being adopted in record time this year. It's amazing. Oh, Zane, you're going to work on prints also. Ooh, very good idea. Patty. Oh, cats and dogs. Okay. For ears and full body. Interesting. Okay. So they've asked you specifically on some different compositions. And I just kind of have naturally done that. Like I try to do a full body and a close up and then something else, a different angle. And they've never really said, I'll have to think about that. William, still marketing your business. COVID shutdown is really holding you back. Yeah, I feel you. I know. Yeah. I feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but it's still a few months away. Yeah. Well, that gives you lots of time to market. Marketing is kind of ongoing anyway. It'll be forever. You'll always be marketing. But it's a kind of an easy thing to work on while we're not doing sessions as much or at all. So I feel you there. What kind of marketing ideas have you come up with? There's so many. Or are you still searching? What are you doing for marketing? I guess is what I'm asking. Frank says horse pictures with the ears forward for a portrait or registration photo. Yeah. Do you have any tricks for us on that, Frank? I'm always super, super careful around horses because I always feel like I'm going to spook them. Obviously, I have a conversation with the people ahead of time. Like, what is your horse used to? And for horses, sometimes it's a food thing. Like they like carrots or peppermints or apple slices, things like that. For others, it might be a sound. It could be someone way walking in the pasture way over behind you. So do you have any clues for us? Also, I know a lot of horse photographers, if they get one good picture with the ears forward, sometimes they can just clone those ears onto other other pictures too. If there's a a look that those ears could go on too, like, oh, that would have been great with that background or something. Do you do that? I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, and what was it? Way back in the day, I went to imaging, and there was a photographer who had for people, a people photographer, and he had a whole collection of eyelashes for people. And I think he did a lot of modeling photos, like for maybe fashion or something, but he would swap out their eyelashes on people. He had a whole collection of them. Amazing, right? That'd be much, much harder to do with animal ears, I would think, because they're got to match, you know. uh, I know, kind of back to William's point, there is so much information on marketing. And marketing and advertising, they're separate, right? So I think a lot of what we do is marketing, where it's kind of brand awareness or uh, social media, things that don't cost. So advertising is when you put dollars behind that for a Facebook ad or a Google AdWords, and flyers, whatever your things that cost you money. And there's so many different things that it can be confusing and overwhelming, and you don't know which ones will be effective. So it feels kind of discouraging sometimes because you kind of are experimenting all the time. And like you said, like it's COVID. Like there's just a lot of people who aren't ready to have their photos done, and that's totally fine. But I still like the idea of keeping your name out there, letting people know that you're doing what you can to stay open for them, that you're here when they come back. For me, I'm doing sessions outside. I wear my mask. I keep my distance. I have my long lenses. I when I do the confirmation, I say, okay, I'm feeling fine. I haven't traveled. I haven't been around anyone that I know that's positive. How are you feeling? And so, I have that touch in the day before. And then, when I get there, I wear the mask and everything. So I've been able to do some sessions, but there was a lot of time this year I didn't do any. So, there's that. But what else can we do during these times for the marketing, right? So if you're doing the shelters, that's one way, because people are going to see you there, like the staff and other volunteers, like there's the dog walkers out there. That's a way to let people know, hey, I'm still out here. I'm still doing stuff. And then I'll post some of these pictures on my Facebook page. So let's see. William says, I'm on Facebook as Croissant Creek Photography. Okay, so are you posting pictures? Like, William, it would be fan-freaking-tastic. Like, if it's your sister's puppy, right? That Frenchie, what if you did every single week? You had a newborn. Okay, so my daughter's about to have a baby, like a human baby. And they have all these cool photo props for babies that say 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And there's like little blankets and or like little pieces of paper that you can put next to your baby and photograph them in the same spot, or like little dolls, you can see how much they grow. Wouldn't that be so cute to put that puppy in a setting like that with just like a little sign that said, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or months, or however you want to do it. And people can watch this Frenchie puppy grow up. Wouldn't that be so great? Oh, you'd get Frenchie lovers for sure, but also anyone who loves puppies, anything like that. I think that would be so, so fun. A really cool project for your Facebook. I think that would be great. I'm going to go back up here because I don't remember. What did you say? William, where are you? Okay, your sister-in-law. So, if she lives close, and she would love that, right? So if she is on social media, she can cross post too and say, hey, you've got to go check out William at this site. He's awesome. And so then her friends will come over and see you too, and it'll just be a whole thing. Like, wouldn't that be cute? Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I want to see Frenchies. Actually, I'm assuming, William, that you already have a Facebook page for that. I want to make sure I'm on it. I got my phone right here. CROISAN, right? Creek. It just sounds so pretty. I don't know. I want to go to that creek. Let me see. See if I can find it. Uh-huh. That has a puppy nose on it. I like it. Okay, Salem, Oregon. Yep. That'd be you, yes. Okay. Yeah. Croissant Creek Photography, everybody. In beautiful Oregon State. Yeah. Okay. So, William, you posted in May. Here's a December 1st, though. Okay. Oh, cute. But I don't know what year. Okay. There's a few things on here. Yeah, you could definitely do a lot more. I think it would be super fun to watch that Frenchie grow up. I just liked your page, so I expect to see that. I'm not being bossy. What? What does Frank say? Wanted to start now so the horse stables will know about me when the equestrian season starts in spring. Yeah. You know what you could do, Frank, is you have enough footage now, is you could do a sizzle reel. I don't see why not. Put together a video, a short video, like a minute or maybe a minute and a half, just clips of all the different horse footage that you have, because you have a lot of footage and in different settings. So maybe this one's out in the pasture, this one's in the arena, this one is during a class, this one's just running free. Whatever it is that you think that they would like to see too, that says, okay, this is what I do. Put a sizzle reel together. Really snappy, really engaging, maybe some upbeat music, your logo, and make sure that you have that on your Facebook or YouTube or somewhere that you can point people to. So when you reach out to these places, you can say, oh yeah, well, here's a tiny sample of my work, but I'm happy to talk to you about it some more. And you can point them right to it. Facebook videos, you can get a URL. You just right click on the video and it says copy the URL for this video. And so you can set that in an email too and just say, hey, here's my sizzle. You don't have to say sizzle reel, but that's just what it's called. You're like your demo reel. Here is a sampling of all the horse footage I've gotten that I could do something like this for you. So I think that would be a great use of your time during these winter months as well. Although, as we both know, winter's a fine time for horse photography out here, I think, although maybe they'd have the wrong coat for that. I can't remember. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that would be awesome for you, Frank. Really set yourself up for that. You're the only one. As far as I know, you're the only one doing horse videos out here, which is amazing because here we are. It's Colorado. There's a lot of horses, you know? And I do general video, but I do that more for like, pet businesses overall. So that would be awesome. Frank says, wanted to do a direct mailing to include video on USB, rat card, and business card. You could, because there's only so many barns, right? So, you know what you could do, though? You know what might even be cooler, Frank? And I don't know about during COVID. I don't know how this works. I haven't been out to really fancy established barns. I've been out to kind of boarding barns. It would be cool to put a basket together, I think. Have like apples and carrots in there for the horses and then have the USB and the rat card and business card and just take the basket out to them for the horses. I think that would be awesome too. And then you don't have to mail it. And then you can already be at that property and have a little card in there to everybody at the barn, or to the trainer. I guess you're specifically going to the trainers. Like, see, I would definitely look into doing something like that. That would be memorable for sure. And they can see you. Like, here you are. You're actually doing this. So there's an idea. It's the shaggy coat in the winter. Okay. So I couldn't remember. There's a time in the spring too, where I've heard horse people say, oh no, now they're getting rid of that coat. So they look patchy. I don't know. Put a blanket on them, right? I don't know. Teresa, does anyone use homemade treats to give to their pets at photo shoots? Yeah, it's easy to delete an email. You're so right. And for it to go to junk folders. Teresa, homemade treats. The closest I get is my friend Sue, who owns Bones de Jour Dog Treat Bakery. Sometimes I'll take hers, but because they are homemade, they're not like as blingy. They're not like the most high value treats for a lot of dogs, and they're crunchy. So I don't. And I like soft treats. Maybe you could do that. Do you do that? I usually bring cheese. I'm a cheese person, partly because a lot of people don't give their dogs cheese, and so it's like this novel thing. And but then again, a lot of people have their own treats. So I always ask that in the planning meeting. What do you got? Do you have treats? Like my big session tomorrow with the 6 dogs, she says, "Oh, I have a lot of treats." So they'll love that. Treat basket for people and horses. Yeah. So if you like brought apples and carrots that either humans or horses could eat, they can choose. And maybe a little bag of Christmas mints, because I know horses like that and people like them. Just spitballing here. Yeah. Hot dogs. Oh boy, they go crazy over hot dogs, don't they? Patty, you won't believe this. There's one person I work with at the dog shelter, and he will go out and buy roasted chicken for the shelter dogs. Now, he's a canine coach. He's one of the trainers there, but he brings in his pouch and either has hot dogs or it has roasted chicken from the deli. Yeah. Do you believe that? That's commitment right there. But yeah, you do need to ask, don't you? Hmm. Teresa, considering it, wondering if it might help add a little flavor. Yeah, yeah. I think people are very particular about their food that they give their dogs, treats and things. But I think it would be a fun collab too. So like with Sue at the Dog Treat Bakery, what I've done is I have in the past given a bag of her treats to them when I bring their order. So in their little bag of prints and things, they have a little bag of treats as well. And so people usually think that's super fun. And I try to get like a little bag for every dog. That's awesome. Yeah, but I would think about it, definitely. I always offer to bring something, but always ask them. They have preferences for dogs, for their dog's food. Treats for people and animals is a great idea. It is. I like it a lot. I think that would be so fun, Frank. If I worked at a barn, if like my job was working outside in the cold with the animals in the dirt, they love it, right? But if someone were to walk up and say, "Here's a basket of goodies." Nobody does that at horse barns, right? That would be so fun. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I can't imagine it'd be any more like expensive or difficult than the post office. And this way, the people are getting it also. I've done that for, well, not that kind of thing, but when I take things into vet hospitals, sometimes I go around to all the different vet hospitals to see what they need for staff photos, staff stuff. And sometimes I'll bring them some treats for the people because they really appreciate that. I know from working many years in vet hospitals, if you brought in human treats, we loved you. Oh my gosh. And so I would bring some paper information and then some treats for the humans. And what I normally say is, because I've been the gatekeeper at some of those places, is, "Hey, here's some treats for the whole staff. I would love to follow up with someone, and here's some information about my business. Who is the person I can follow up with?" And so even if you go out to these barns, Frank, and the person who owns the barn or runs the classes, whoever's in charge, isn't there, they will tell you who it is. And so I've never had a problem with I would say, "Hey, I'd love to follow up with the manager or the decision maker about this and just chat with them. Who should I talk to and what is their email address?" And so if you can get their name and their particular email address, not the info at ABC Vet Hospital, but Judy, the manager at ABC Vet Hospital, that kind of thing. Then you have that little in and you have permission. So somebody at the front desk has said, "Oh, sure, just contact Judy right here." And so that usually goes a long ways to kind of not get past the gatekeepers, but let them know that you would like to follow up and they can let you know. Yeah. Oh, da, 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 da. Let's see, William. You trained your Aussie Brandy with a clicker and liver treats. Oh, I forgot all about those. Yeah. Oh, that sounds really high value. My dog, she'll eat anything. Well, not so many, not like a lot of fruits, but a lot of other things. Teresa, I have a photo shoot at the beach in about an hour. Oh, the lady's a dog trainer, has multiple dogs. Do you have any recommendations for group shots? Yeah, yeah. Is she going to be in the photos? First of all, with multiple dogs. Any tricks for getting the dogs to all look in the same direction? Yeah. Yes. So if she's going to be in the group photo, just don't let her talk to the dogs. So she could be with them and just say, okay, you have to be quiet because I'm going to try to get them to look at me. I've run into this with people and their babies and little kids too. And I'll say, listen, I'll get that baby to look at me. But if you're looking at the baby, you've just ruined the photo. You have to like have your eyes glued to me. Don't worry. I'll get those babies to look at me. Same for the dogs. And then how many dogs too, Teresa? Because we were just talking about this earlier, how I've got a 6-dog session tomorrow and kind of what she'll be in the photos. Okay, so that'll be actually kind of nice. So have her hand you whatever treats she's got so the dogs know she's got nothing. And then group them with her. And she might have dogs that like to be separated, that kind of thing. So find that out. And then make sure she gives you the treats. So she doesn't have any, and then she's not talking to the dogs, and ask her what kind of like wording she uses with them. I had one client once and they said, no, she wasn't a dog trainer, but it was, should we go to Uncle Pete's? And the dogs are like, what? Yes, absolutely. And so it was just this little code word that they had at their house. So find out from her what would give them attention. And basically just going to look towards you, I'm assuming. So if she's sitting with them, do what you can to get the attention and just have her like keep her model face on. That's what I always tell people. Keep that model smile, keep that model face, keep looking at me. Don't you worry. And if there's a lot of dogs, Teresa, this is what I'm going to do tomorrow is bring my tripod and keep it in that one spot. Take a picture with nobody in the scene so you can composite if you need to. And then, if you have it on a tripod, you can always head swap if you absolutely had to. Well, I hate doing that, but sometimes it has to happen. Yeah. So a lot of times it's like bring your squeaky, bring the treats, and then make sure only one person is trying to direct the dogs at a time. That is lazy, Zane. She'll be in the photos. Okay, yeah. 3 dogs and a lady. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, Teresa, don't be afraid to take charge. This is what they're expecting from you. You are the photographer, you know what you're doing. And it's such a relief to people when someone takes charge and says, okay, this is what we're going to do. And then you get like excited and confident. And you say, this is where the great light is. This is where the background is. We're going to sit here and maybe place her first and then pile her dogs around her. I don't know what size they are, but kind of group the dogs around her. And you'll get a feel right away for which dogs like to stick to her like glue, which can be a little further away if one dog needs to sit on the other side of another. And then if you have your tripod, and then just let her know, okay, sit like this, pose her, put the dogs around her, tuck all the leashes behind if they have leashes. Okay. So make sure all those leashes are back behind her as much as possible. And if she has a helper, that's even better. So she can bring someone that can hold leashes off to the side. But if they're not going to be on leashes, don't worry about that, obviously. And then tell her to not talk to the dogs. Just look right at the camera, look like an awesome model, and that you'll get the attention of the dogs to not worry about it. So that's generally how I kind of work through that. And I praise them the whole time. Okay, oh my gosh, you're doing so good. This is going really well. Or I'll say, oh, is there any chance you can bring that dog in just a little bit more? Or, oh, that one got up again. And then you get really patient and say, this is going to take us a little bit of time. This is a lot of dogs. This is a new thing for them. They've never modeled before, potentially. And so just give them a lot of praise the whole time. I tend to like talk the whole time. Frank, you're going to leave? Oh, happy holidays, Frank. Yeah. Thank you for coming. Yeah. Let's see. What else did you have in here? And it's kind of difficult when you're on location because there's so much else going on. So if a squirrel walks by or another dog, have your like eyes in the back of your head the whole time to make sure that you're keeping an eye on everybody. And so like I even had a photo session with that falcon a couple of weeks ago, and we were making sure there wasn't any other hawks or eagles or falcons around or owls that could come in during our session. So we were even watching the trees in the sky to make sure nobody disturbed us. So whenever I'm out in a public location like a beach or a park or a trail, always be watching around you too. But that can also come in handy, Teresa, because if the dogs are really distracted and suddenly they're all looking towards you because some guy's jogging back there, take the picture. So if they're kind of been watching people in the distance or squirrels and one goes behind you, take the picture. So yeah, that's exciting. 3 dogs and a person. That is not the easiest thing to do because that's 3 dogs for one person potentially to try to wrangle. I'm excited. So Teresa, are you part of our Facebook group? I would love to see pictures if that's okay. Here's the Facebook group. I think you're in there, but join us in there. And then if you have any questions about post-processing afterwards, we can definitely answer that and help you out too as a group. I love that. So I can't remember if you're part of that. Would love to have you in there. Oh, it's still there. Yeah. Oh, I'm excited to hear how that goes. Yeah. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. So you could definitely post in there. We'll see. I don't know. So my session tomorrow with a lot of animals, I might post in there. I'm not sure yet. Yeah. What's the question mark? Oh, post-processing. Oh, like in Lightroom and Photoshop. Yeah. So if you have any questions on how to edit them, basically. Excuse me. Drinking a lot of water. I'm trying to be good. It's so dry here. Yeah, because you might end up, if you use a tripod and you have to combine them, maybe do a head swap or any kind of editing, there's a bunch of us in there that can help you too in the Facebook group. Yeah, I'm assuming this is a paid session for you, Teresa, maybe? Oh, that's fine. No worries. Yeah, and as a paid session, or actually even a model call session, you want to be able to deliver, kind of what you envisioned and what they envisioned. So if you need help with that, we're there for you. Well, yeah. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for being here. Enjoy that lovely Pacific Northwest. Yeah. I was there this time last year, but those trees are amazing. Have fun. And I want to see puppy pictures. So many. We all want Frenchie puppy pictures. Okay. Oh, so she paid you. All right. So she sees you as the expert. So you're the expert. Just remember that. Like, one of the things I listen to a lot of podcasts, everybody. Oh my gosh. A lot of business type podcasts. And I was listening to one the other day, and they said a big part of being an entrepreneur is like declaring it. And I actually have a friend of mine who's going to do some photography for me coming up. And we met a year ago, right before all this hit. And she's like, oh, I kind of want to get into photography. She's really good at candids and events and weddings and things. And she's like, I don't know when I'm going to start and stuff. And I said, listen, first you need to start with saying, I am a photographer. And she's like, oh gosh. And it's this hard hurdle to get over, isn't it? Have you ever noticed that when you declare it, like, I'm a photographer, I'm a pet photographer. Hi, I'm a professional pet photographer. Like, there's something that happens. There's something that clicks in you, I think, So Teresa, when you go out tomorrow, I be proud of yourself. Like, you've gotten the skills, you've gotten things together, and you've gotten a client that's willing to trade value. Here's $50 to do this for me. And you have to start somewhere. And if you're like, that's right, I'm Teresa, I'm your professional pet photographer, I'm here for you. Isn't that awesome? It's so fun just to declare that. You don't need to have a certain amount of money paid to you or a certain number of clients or, this many people following you on Instagram to be declared a professional in photography. So take that and run with it. I would say, like, you can get yourself a mighty nice dinner after that for $50. Hello. Do you do you aim for more later? Yes. Obviously, $50 is not sustainable, But it's a start. It's so great. And then if this dog trainer loves them, and then they could tell somebody else too, and you can use it in your portfolio and everywhere else, like each one will just build off the other. Yeah, it is. That's great. That's great. I'm so glad. That's right. So happy for you. Yay. Oh man, and at the beach too. Wow. Food money. Yeah. The beach will be so lovely. It'll have its own like challenges because you may not have any shade and you might have some wind and but I've seen some beautiful pictures at the beach. Are you going to do like sunset or I can't hardly wait to see them. I miss the beach so much. I was hoping every year that I would go to the beach. I'm pretty landlocked, right, in Colorado, and the last time I was there was December. Yeah. You're also considering changing your business name. Right now is Truth Media Design Media Pet Photography, but that doesn't scream pet photography. Yeah, I feel you. How do you go about choosing your business name? Yeah, that's funny because I was thinking about doing one more story time, but I don't know yet. It might just be a podcast episode of how I came up with the name Silver Paw Studio. And I have gone through a lot of different names, actually. I think it was like, this one's so embarrassing. Do y'all want to hear my very first photography business name? So embarrassing. And my BFF Bree, her husband made me the website too. And so I think it might even still, I don't know where it is, but he made it. It was so cliche. Okay. This was my very first attempt at a business name. You've Been Framed Photography. I was doing a lot of like families, high school seniors, things like that. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I don't know. You've Been Framed Photography. Yes, You've Been Framed. Yeah, even had like a little frame in it. And then from there, I just moved on to my name. Monique Renee Photography is what I was as a people photographer for a long time. And what I did was I opened Silver Paw Studio side by side. So I had two brands. I had my people photography and then I had Silver Paw Studio. And that name, Teresa, that name came about, because I really liked Silverstream and Airstream trailers. And I love all the travel trailers. I used to have one of those little teardrop trailers for years and years and was in that whole community of people who camped in these things. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have a traveling photo studio in one of those silver trailers? Wouldn't that be cool? And then the other thought behind that was like, okay, if I have the word silver in there, that's going to elevate it a little bit and make it sound a little bit higher price point. And of course the paw. So Silver Paw Studio that's how that all came about, because the Silver Airstreams, I thought I really wanted to have a photo studio in an Airstream, but it's really just not wide enough. It's not practical and you have to drag it around and everything. So no, but that's how it started. But here's what's the interesting thing is most people don't know that story. They assume that the Silver Paw came from Libby, because she was a black dog who slowly became gray and silver. And she was really teeny tiny. She's 5 pounds right there. And people thought that the Silver Paw came from Libby. And I thought, well, that's sweet. So choose your own origin story. And so it's just kind of stuck. So I wanted it to sound a little higher price point and a little, not fancier, but just a little higher end. I wanted the paw in there in the studio. I didn't necessarily want photography because I'd had Monique Renee Photography, and that is so long. And so I just didn't want that in there anymore, which is working out now because now I do video. And you do design too, Teresa. So there's got to be a way to put that all together. And you could, let me see, Truth Media Design. If you want to specifically do pet photography, yeah, maybe that could be in there somewhere. Truth Design. See, and I keep saying Truth Media Design. I'm doing that wrong. Truth Design Media, pet photography. You could even do TDM, maybe something like that. I think you've already thought about that potentially. And there's a lot to go into it because you have to do all the legal stuff behind it too. What does Patty have to say? Let's see. Want to use your name because I would also like to expand in doing people headshots someday. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people do is they just use their name. Yeah. I sometimes have moments where I wish I'd used my name. That's why a few months ago I changed my Silver Paw Studio YouTube channel here to be Silver Paw Studio dash Monique Renee. So if people were looking at my name, they would find me because I'm just Silver Paw Studio everywhere. And if I wanted to expand what I'm doing, like I've done some speaking gigs and teaching and things like that, I want people to find me. So I kind of agree with you there, Patty, too. Maybe just using your name. And Teresa, you're like, your name's easy to spell, so there wouldn't be any troubles with that, I don't think. What are some of your ideas? We want to know. And I think you do need to think about too, things not being too like fad like. Something that can be timeless, kind of evergreen, that if you were still being called that in 5 years, would you be like, "Ooh, I've really outgrown that name"? Like mine, the You've Been Framed Photography, that doesn't really fit me and my brand and what I do. Studio, I have to say, me having studio in my name, sometimes it confuses people because they think, are you a painter? Are you a sculptor? What kind of a studio are we talking about here? So having studio in there has been a little tricky sometimes because people don't know what I'm talking about. So consider that too, even though it's shorter, sweeter, that kind of thing than photography, really long thing. Might be worth putting the word photography in there still. Yeah, there's a whole lot. I also, would I put paw in there again? I don't know because there's so many things with paw. I'm just well known as Silver Paw Studio now, so I don't have any plans to change it. But if I ever thought about it, would I change that? I don't know. What do you got here? Free range. Ooh, was one idea I had, but my husband said it sounded like I wanted to eat their pets. Oh. Oh, darn it all. What else? How about open range? I don't know. Yeah. What was the idea behind free range? What was like the feeling you wanted people to have when they read it? Because we can kind of go off of that too. So free range. Did you want it to be when I hear that, I think that maybe not as posed, maybe more action or candid. Is that kind of what you want to come across? Or is it because you live in a place that has open fields and things like that? Curious. What was the reasoning behind free range? All right. What else we got going on here? Do I have everything? I've got my list right here. I always write notes while we're on here too. Like I want to look up affinity photo, that kind of thing. Also, if you all have any ideas for content you'd like to see, if you ever do a Google search for something and you can't find it, I can make a video on that. What is that? If you ever watched, I don't know, there was a sitcom about Portland, Portlandia. We could pickle that. I mean, I can make a video on it. Teresa, I love to take photos of pets when they're just out and about doing their own thing. So free range is kind of the idea behind that. Okay, yeah. More candid. Okay. Well, I mean, that kind of says it. What's another way you could say free range pet photography? I know, because that's kind of that's the kind of the lingo that people use when they're talking about chicken and beef and things that you buy in the grocery store. Like, honest, this was free range chicken. So I get it. I understand what your husband's trying to say. And I love that you're thinking beyond just saying candid. So I still got that idea, you know? Free form. Oh, see, I can go. What I usually end up doing is looking up thesaurus and looking up all the synonyms for things and words that are adjacent to that and thinking about the feeling behind it. And whenever I do kind of word puzzle things like that, even if I'm trying to come up with like a brand message for myself, I've been in some masterminds and things where we're trying to come up with our brand statement. And a lot of it has to do with that. Yeah. So I I tend to go a little crazy with the synonyms and the thesauruses. Like, ooh, what can we look up? Yes. So, okay, so let me see. I'm gonna go. Where is this gonna take me if I open this? Okay, you're not gonna see it anyway. So I'm gonna open a Chrome tab over here, and I can't spell thesaurus. There's a problem. Let's see. Let's see. Might need to find a way to run with that. It's what I love the most of pet photography. I don't do so well with posing. Okay, yeah, yeah. So if we go to thesaurus, if we said candid, sincere, straightforward, unbiased, truthful. Let's see. They have a lot more antonyms than synonyms. Let's see. I'm just looking through the thesaurus here. Just for candid. Well, what if I put in like unposed? Is that a word? I don't know. It is today. Okay. This is unpoised. Didn't you mean unpoised? Look up pose and I can look up antonyms for it. Informal. I don't want informal. Let's see. Okay, there's not much there. This is fun though. Awkward. Let's do the opposite of awkward. I'm gonna get way off topic if I keep going down this. Natural, maybe. Yeah, I bet there's a lot of adjacent words you can think of. Because when I was saying that, let's see, out about doing their thing. I wonder if I just put. Let me do. At large. Oh, goodness. We in the town I used to live in, one day there was this rooster in the middle of the freeway on the divider. It was foul at large. So when we called animal control to go catch it, they're like, okay, foul at large. So yeah, on the loose, unconfined. Ooh. Free, uncaged, footloose. Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm not over there. I could go on and on. Teresa. Free range. Open. Yeah, see, it's just coming up with agricultural terms. Yeah. Al fresco. Because I'm thinking open range. No, that's more cow kind of stuff too, isn't it? There's a lot of ideas. Free reign, REIN. Free reign photography. Ooh, that'd be kind of fun. What do you think of that? Playful, unrestrained, unrestricted freedom. Ooh, free reign. That's kind of a fun idea too. And I love alliterations, and this isn't truly, but it sounds the same. Oh, does it sound more like a horse photography though? Open range means target range. Okay, never mind that. Free, yeah, you could, yeah, spell it like that. Yeah, free reign. I kind of like that too. It doesn't have. I don't immediately think of chickens. I guess just brutal honesty right there. Free reign photography. That kind of rolls off the tongue too, doesn't it, Teresa? Free reign photography. You don't have to put pets in there, maybe. I don't know. You could, I guess. Free reign pet photography. That does conjure up dogs running on the beach to me. And if that's more like what you're going for your beach session, then you should be way down the beach and then they can all run towards you. I mean, that would be awesome. And do that shot from the side too. Wow, that would be so pretty. Hmm. It could just be instead of photography, free reign photos or free reign because you do design too. Would this be just a brand just for your photography? Yeah. And did you say the beach was really nice right now too? Ah, I want to see pictures. I miss the beach. I'm telling you. It's a thing. It's a whole thing. And I'm talking like I grew up at Washington State beaches. They're like the angry ocean. Like it's very rare to have a really nice day out there, but man, I miss it. I want to go to the beach. I'm telling you. Okay. Sorry. I saw all these shadows flying by. It was just all the geese out there. Just for pet photography, do shirts and people, but on a lower scale. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Free reign photos, free reign portraits, free reign pet portraits, maybe. Portraits is also a very well-known word. Yeah. See what your husband thinks. He seems to think a little bit differently than us, so that's good. You need more insights. You have a nice ocean. Yeah. The calm ocean. I tell you, the first time I went to the East Coast of the US, I went to New Jersey or something. I couldn't believe it. Like, oh, look at how calm and shallow. And where I went was warmer and warm. Like, this is the ocean. This is what people talk about, the ocean. Like, wow. Yeah. Ah. And my daughter lives in Georgia, so I'm hoping to go see her next year at some point and her baby. So see the ocean there again. Dig more into that free reign though. Yeah. Ooh, ooh. Okay, okay. Yeah, you're a designer, so you can come up with that quick, right? Yeah. Oh, I could see that. It doesn't even have to have the letters in there. It could be, a dog face that you've made into a logo type of thing. Free reign portraits, something like that. I don't know. Ooh, I can't wait to see what you come up with. Ah. Or it could be a dog running, I suppose, because you want to show that they're active and candid. That'd be fun. Yeah. I could see that, Teresa. I could see that. Very good. I like it. Ooh, look at us working on 2021 already. How are we doing? I've been on here, oh golly, an hour and a half. Is that right? I had said I would do a marathon. So if y'all have any more questions, I am here. This is my last live stream of 2020, everyone. And I probably won't do another live stream till well into January. I have my first meeting with my business coach about a week into January. And I'm going to put some things together there and then move forward. So I'm very excited to have this amazing business coach. And, so in the last part of this year, I was trying really hard to put out a lot of content and a lot of value for everyone and kind of get my numbers up on YouTube and figure out what everyone wanted to see. And so, we're doing this whole big marathon, but I'm going to have to cut back to like once a month, I think, after this. That way it could give you all time to come up with anything that you want to talk about as well. I love this interaction piece. So I appreciate people being here and being brave enough to ask a question. Honestly, I've been to a lot of live streams and a lot of things. And sometimes I'm over there like, I don't think I want to ask a question. And I don't know why. But I really appreciate you putting yourself out there and we can all chat. I don't know if you know who Pat Flynn is, and he's really well known for the SPI. I don't even know what the name of it is now. It's the income something. And he wrote a really great book. And so he has a live stream every single day on Pat Flynn on YouTube. And he was doing YouTube reviews Saturday. And I popped in and I was like, hey, I'd love a review. He says, okay, I'm going to do Silver Paw review. I'm like, what? That was really, really cool. I'm like, I was on Pat Flynn's live stream. He did a review of my YouTube. And that wasn't easy to pop in there and go, could you go do like a dive onto my page and see what I'm doing wrong? But it was helpful, right? You don't know what you don't know. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You're doing that right now. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for you. Yay. Good job, Teresa. Have fun. Yes. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy for you. Yay. And then have a nice dinner afterwards, right? That's right. So Patty and everyone else who's still here, do you ever have times where you think, man, I wish I could find this information on YouTube? Again, that's why I started YouTube. Is it, and at the time, I really thought it would be something like, I'd love to know how to photograph like cats in cages. How am I going to handle this? All these different situations we come up with at the shelters. Adios. At the shelters. How am I going to handle all these things? And so that was kind of like my first thing that I thought of. And talk about gear and stuff. A lot of people on YouTube like to hear about the gear and the tools that we use in our business. So I've put information out about that as well, and some behind the scenes. And I love doing all of that. But I feel like sometimes there's something we look up and we think, where is this information? Like, I would like to know this and I cannot find it. Do you ever run into something like that? Like, it could be a simple thing of, well, it seems like it would be simple. I look up stuff all the time on how to do stuff in video editing, photo editing, or working with a particular kind of animal, anything. Need to do a search for videos for quick tips for finding information on the monitor for in-person sales. Yeah. Let me go to, I don't want to break the internet, but I'm going to go to my YouTube page right now. And remember, if you're in the chat, you can get out of the chat and do the thumbs up at some point. If you could, that'd be awesome. And oh, that's interesting how that pops up. Okay. Anyway, let me go to my videos and I'll see if I put a link in there, Patty, because I might have. That wasn't that long ago. I did like a little quick tips, I believe. Sales software and screen monitoring. Okay. I don't want to turn the sound on. Let's see if I put that. Here we go, Patty. I'm going to put, this is an affiliate link. So just so you know, there's a little bit of a commission if you use it, I guess. I don't know if it applies in here, but let's take a look at that. I can tell you right now. It's gone up. Okay. But it is full HD, so that's nice. So it's at the $200 price point right now. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. And you might be able to scroll down. There's another one that's only $149, so that's on super sale. Make sure you get the cables with it, unless you have some HDMI cables. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of, okay. So if you go down to related items, there's a bunch more too. So there's some ideas. Yeah. That one's just gone up in price. But it is awesome. Oh my gosh. It's so nice to not have, it doesn't have to plug in, which is great. And it's got kind of a matte screen. It's not a shiny screen, so it's easy to see in a lot of different lighting scenarios. It's got good quality. I've done sales meetings with just my older laptops, and the screens on some of those were so terrible. Like, I'm sorry. Trust me, it doesn't really look like this. Ugh, and that's the worst, right? You want to show people what they're actually getting. Like, you take these high quality photos, and then you have a terrible monitor. We want to show them, and the big, what a lot of people will say is like, put it on a big TV or something, but you can't always do that. Like, if you're being portable, you need something portable, right? And especially figure out how to do screen mirroring too. So if you're using ProSelect, which I don't think you are, you have to go into it a little bit differently. But if you're just going to completely mirror your screen, that's just within the operating system of your computer. It's pretty easy to do. So you should be able to set up screen sharing. And that's also cool because you don't have to sit like right next to people and then like tilt the computer around. It's just so awkward to have to do that. You know that. So I hope you find a course and make sure you know every time how to hook it up. Sometimes I don't use it for a while and then I forget how to prop the thing up on its little stand. That sounds silly, but it happens, you know. But I love that little monitor. I'm also kind of considering, I keep moving this microphone. I'm hoping you can hear me okay. I'm considering what I want to do with my studio, like to maybe rearrange it or set it up differently. So I'm not quite sure. I like how I have it set up now, if with the white shelf behind and all of a bunch of canvases on the wall behind me, but I don't know, I might change up my studio space. I'm not sure yet. I am still working on my idea to make a course about stock video. Yes. And I was thinking the other day, what I might do is just incorporate this course into a project. And so, or vice versa. So what I'm thinking is I might just do very similar to the stock video that I did recently here on YouTube and just make that into an entire course. And so it could be that I think of some footage that I want to capture with Bailey and or Steve and walks everybody through my actual getting that footage and submitting it and everything. It's kind of like what I did on YouTube, but instead of in 15 minutes, make it be like 4 hours. And so really, really walk through every single step. So I think that might be what I do because that would be very practical. So one of my ideas is to give Bailey a bath in the upstairs bathroom where we've got like the hose that comes down. And so figure out how to light that space, where to set the camera, what settings, how to get around. Like if I have Steve doing it, where do I put the camera? So that's one idea. The two of them out for a walk. His back is kind of healed enough now, I think, to go on a walk and just make it like a not snowy day. And so, take some of those pieces of footage that I wanted to do and make that into a detailed course. So I'm thinking about doing that for my next upcoming course. I think that would be easy to follow along instead of just like do this and this and this with no examples. So I really like examples when I'm learning on a course. So let me know what you think. Courses take longer than it seems. The last course I did, I told someone I'm going to do this, and she's like, "Are you crazy? You can't do that in 1 week." I mean, I said I did the filming and then editing, and then I gave myself a month, I think it was, or 2 weeks or something. I was going to film it, edit it, and then post it. And it took me a couple weeks longer, but it was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. And I've done like 3 courses and I always forget like how much work it was for all the stages. So it's going to take me a little while to get that course together. But if you're on that email list, you'll know about it first. So everyone here is going to know about that very first and probably get some kind of special on it. And I think that is an excellent way to take advantage of some of this downtime and make some extra money and learn some new skills. So especially before the market gets saturated. So I'm thinking that maybe I'll do something seasonal. I'm not sure. I'm just going to come up with some concepts that I want to shoot for my stock portfolio and then show everybody the process for that in a course. Yeah. I do have to remember I got the best Christmas card. Seriously, I've just been drinking water. I got this chocolate stout, nitro stout, but I thought, no, I'm not going to drink while I'm live streaming today. So I'm kind of all over the place, but can I show you the very best Christmas card I've gotten this year? It is so hysterical. Panda's been on these live streams sometimes. And so she sent me this card. It says, "No animals were harmed in the making of this Christmas card." But on the inside, it says, "The photographer, however, is in serious but stable condition and may be able to leave the hospital by New Year's." I love it. This cracked me up so much. Oh my gosh. And then I had to post years ago when Secret Life of Pets came out, they did a fake commercial of photographing all these pets in a studio for Christmas. Oh, it's the best. So of course I put that on my Facebook page too. Like, remember this video? So great. Yeah. So I almost forgot to share that with everybody. I wish I'd have done it earlier when more of you were online, but yeah, that's hysterical. No animals were harmed in the making of this Christmas card. How funny is that? Yeah. I was really, really bad and I didn't send out cards this year. I'm thinking I might do New Year's cards though. Like I usually do a family one and then one for clients. I'll send my clients some kind of a card at the end of the year, just trying to decide what exactly to do. And actually now with the mail system and the labs are really behind. I have some of my client orders. Like, see, how do I do this? Everything's backwards on here. So back on, oh my gosh, that table, I have some client orders ready, but they're missing pieces. So like I have some canvases ready that are at the lab, but they just haven't printed them yet. I have like an album. So there's some things that are taking longer. So sometimes I get my cards from some of those same print labs and I just don't think they're going to get here in anytime soon. So yeah, I don't know. I might just do a little letter. I'm not sure yet. Yeah. What else are we doing, everybody? Have I been online long enough? Did I answer all of your questions? I mean, I can go early if you want. It was fun to come up with Teresa's brainstorm some ideas for her studio name. That was fun. Yeah. And Patty, I hope you find a monitor. Yeah, making sure I didn't miss any questions. Zane, are you still here? Got any questions? And if you're watching the replay and you made it this far, congratulations. It's almost 2 hours in. If you have any questions, type them in the comments below because I will get a notification and I will answer you. That's right. And I will still have videos coming out every single day through the end of the year. Just like I said, I am done with story times. So this Saturday will just be a short. My printer has something to say about that. Wow. Okay. And I've got quick tips coming out tomorrow. I have a quick tip. So if you saw my quick tip last week of making that PVC background for the vet hospital tiny exam room, I did a video on the lighting that I use in that space too. So that's coming out tomorrow. Friday, I have that cool one with the ice and the dog and the app to blend them together. Everybody can do this. And then I'm going to do your silly pictures. So again, you can email them right here. I'm excited for that video. And then from there, I'm just going to do a bunch more of those little shorts. I'm having fun with those. I won't do those as much in the new year. It's just, even though they're only 30 to 60 seconds, they do take some time to do. So I'm going to back off on some of the content here and kind of reassess what it is you really need and you want out of me and this channel going forward. So I've been trying to do a mixture of business advice and topics and practical like skills, hands-on camera things. I've been trying to do kind of a blend of both of those. So we'll see. I'm going to really I don't really do a formal content calendar. I just always keep my brainstorm of ideas alive out there and then I film them when I can. So maybe I need to get more strategic. We'll find out when I get my business coach on board. I think there is not that many channels doing business advice for photographers. There's a lot of craft channels, and I understand that. That's instant gratification. We love that. We want to know how to take a picture of a dog in a studio or dogs in a field or, things like that. We want to know how to do that. We need to do that. That's critical for what we do. But there is a fair amount of other knowledge we need. Like these pictures are only a small part of what we do every day. So having the background behind everything else, like how to do the marketing and the pricing and where do you get your samples and how do you present them to people? What programs do you use? How do you organize your clients? How do you do any of these things? That is so much more than the photography. So I want to make sure I touch on that, but I know YouTube algorithm it's not as popular as like, here's my new Sony camera or, here's how to photograph some puppies. So we'll see. Yeah, I think so too, Patty. I do too. Is an absolute necessity. And there's really not a lot of that on YouTube that I found, talking about, photographers specifically, and then pet photographers. I don't think there's any business type of classes out there on YouTube. Not even classes, just, these are shorter videos that we really gain traction here on YouTube. Anything longer form is for courses and, just longer form type of things, blog posts, whatever. Yeah, you're welcome, Patty. Yeah. And I think, we all are kind of floundering out there. A lot of us are solopreneurs, just one of us that does all the things. And so it's nice to be able to bounce these ideas off each other, because where else are we going to know? I can listen to a podcast, I can read a book, I can do all the things, but it's nice to get specifically pet photographers in the same room. And I think there's just some power in that, and us all bouncing ideas off of each other. I might not have a solution that works for you. Like many of you in this group don't use Lightroom and Photoshop. And so I can't help as much with that, but somebody else in the group can. And I love that kind of crowdsourcing. I really like that. So I'm coming up with ways that we can harness that even more in 2021. I'm excited about that, but I don't have all the pieces in place yet, so I can't launch that quite yet. But y'all know that you'll be the first to hear about it. But I do think I need to talk more about the craft as well. And some of that is just so restrictive right now, partly because, my dog doesn't like strobes and I don't have access to a lot of other people's dogs because COVID, right? So some of that's just kind of on hold for now until, I can safely film some of those things. So yeah. And there's another pet photographer on YouTube now, and she's been going through a lot of the basics like white balance and things like that. So she's a good resource for that type of content. But I find that she teaches a very specific look. She has one look, and this is what she teaches, and that's what she's good at. So, I want to expand out from there, and like there's lots of room for lots of photographers on YouTube and giving out information. So that's good. I'm glad there's more people joining in. Yeah. But what else can I bring to all of you? So I think that's partly why I'm going to do the vlog at the shelters, because my heart is really there at the shelters. And I know yours is too, for a lot of us here. So a little bit more of a breakdown of exactly how I run things at the shelter could help somebody who's just starting out. Yeah. Let's see. If I get treats, he's happy. Oh, nice. Yeah, this has been a learning curve for me, because like my Libby right there, as long as she got a tiny little bit of anything, she's like, okay, I'll sit here. Nothing bothered her. Super friendly. Bailey's very different. So that's been quite the learning curve for me. Oh gosh. And now we're getting into kind of the colder weather and things. So, I'll brainstorm. What I want to do is find gaps in my content. Like, oh, I talked about this and this and this, but I missed this whole piece in the middle. And then, part of the YouTube strategy is looking at the videos that did really well and doing more of those. But a lot of that is gear related. So of course I'll be doing gear videos, but that's not all I want to do. Like when we get that new camera here in the next week or two, you're going to hear about it for sure, and why we got it, things like that. But I think I think I would get bored with the content if it was just gear related. So there's that. I'll be looking at where to fill in the blanks. Yeah. All right, everyone. Oh, okay. It's been 2 hours. I said I'd be on here 3, but we've gotten it dwindled down. Unless y'all on here are just like, wait, I have 10 more questions. I'm probably going to wrap it up, but I've just so loved doing these live streams, no matter how many people are here, because if I can help one person, my job is done. I don't need to have 100 people in the room. And I've taught at live events that had one or two people there because maybe it was a small community event or something. And I'm not discouraged because those people need to hear it too, one person at a time. So I appreciate you all being here and being part of this little community that we've created, and sharing your knowledge back and forth. It's been amazing this year. That's one of the things I've really taken from 2020 is, you know, even though we're kind of locked down where we're at in the world, we can all come together here. And I just love that. Everybody here is from somewhere else. You know, Frank, I've met in person, and the rest of you, I hope to meet in person someday. And when that isn't that cool to bring together all these people from all these different backgrounds and all these different knowledge bases and life experiences and business experiences. It's so great to bring everyone together like this. It gives me energy. It gives me hope. I know we'll get back to being with people in person again, which would be great. Like, wouldn't it be awesome for us all to see each other in person? I think that would be fantastic. That's on my radar somewhere down the line. Don't you worry. But in the meantime, we have social media and we have live streaming, and I've been on live streaming for a very long time, and I've made some excellent friends from live streaming and social media. It's been awesome. So awesome. I've learned so much this year too. So I hope I'm filling a need for all of you. It's just so great to see you. And it's kind of bittersweet to sign off for the last time this year. Yeah. But I'll see you in January. January is only 9 days away, everybody. Hope you won't miss me too much. And we've got the Facebook group. Okay. We have a lot of stuff to share in the Facebook group. Right? Any projects that we're working on or things that we run across that we think would be interesting. We got some cool stuff happening in that Facebook group, and you all have helped that. I get a chuckle out of that group all the time. So come on over and we'll keep the conversation going over there for sure. Yes, Merry Christmas to you, Patty. Yeah. And I hope you all enjoy the video that comes out on Friday. I think you will. Don't worry, I'll send along an asset for you, the photo that you could work too. You'll see what I mean. You'll see on Friday. Yeah, I'm so glad you love the Facebook group. Yes, we are glad to have you in there, Patty. Yay. Okay, I think that I am going to call it. We're going to go, maybe. Unless, let's see, count down one more minute. If I get any other questions, I will definitely stay. Okay. I got to finish those dog pictures and send them off to the shelter too. Yeah. All right. I don't see any other questions coming in. All right. It's great to see you all. Hope you have a fantastic end of the year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Winter Solstice, all the different things. Yeah. It's been so great to get to know you in 2020, and I can't wait to get to know you even more in 2021. I will be back live streaming, and hope you all have a fantastic end of the year. Where's my ending thing? What do I always say? I wish you many woofs, purrs, and TREATSs. Okay. Bye, everyone. See you soon. Have a good one. Bye.